What's good, everyone out there? It's WrestleQuest, and comment if you're already up on the term culture vulture, right? It's something we hear a lot in hip hop. If you're a fan of hip hop and tap into that sector of the blogosphere and that type of content, but it's kind of interesting what we're talking about over here in pro wrestling, the whole culture vulture and disrespecting of certain culture comes into question here in this discussion. And stay with me here while we piece it all together, and make sure you leave your thoughts about it all in the comments section. Subscribe, hit the buttons, help me out, guys, over here on WrestleQuest as we build up this community to talk about pro wrestling with you guys out there. You see, last night, Chad Gable, which I love to see stables thrive on and live, and the Alpha Academy is still here. Comment your favorite active stable in WWE currently right now, right? The Judgment Day is still alive. You got the Vision. There's a few stables, but sometimes stables can become a shell of them former selves. But I think it's cool where the Alpha Academy is at, and with Chad Gable being done with his Lucha Libre alter ego losing his mask in Mexico. It was so interesting. We saw on Main Event, which streams on YouTube now, right? What's his name? Otis had a great match, and it had a lot of people in the comments talking about it, myself included, like, hey, Otis is still doing his thing. He's still over. The Alpha Academy is still here. Gable just lost the mask. It only makes sense that they reunite. And he came out on Raw, as you see, wanting to make amends, and he apologized to Otis. And it was a really good promo. He got really tugging on the heartstrings, if you will, and seemed sincere. Obviously, this is all creative storylines, right? And we're talking about culture vulturism, if it is a thing or not, storyline wise and in real life. And I know sometimes guys got to go out there and just do what they're told, but sometimes you can say no to certain things if you feel it's wrong or not. And what we're talking about here is the whole mask, right? What did you guys think of that storyline? Do you think that it's cool? You know, like, just because we're talking about it here, I'm not saying I necessarily believe that that's bad or was disrespectful to Lucha Libre. The AAA fans seemed to love it, and obviously the partnership and WWE and AAA working together is on a synergistic level at its peak right now, and still peaking, you know what I mean? Kind of apex mountain vibes. But that's what we're getting at, is talking about the mask and the tradition and Lucha Libre, and if WWE does it right. Now, Otis was going to accept his apology, but Shorty, her name is slipping my mind at the moment. I know it. Leave it in the comments. Obviously, she stepped in and wouldn't let Otis accept his apology for all the things Gable has done. We'll have to see where that storyline goes on from here. But the next match that happened was Dragon Lee versus Ethan Page. And you see, prior to the match, Rey Mysterio, Penta, and Dragon Lee all talk together, like, go give Ethan Page a go check him and let him know what it is. Teach him to respect Lucha Libre, as, you know, he wants to unmask Dragon Lee. And we saw Gunther take his mask off. They didn't show his face. And that was something that WWE did right and WCW did so wrong. You know, like, it was great. They had a lot of wrestlers get over on Nitro, the cruiserweights, Lucha Libre, people from Japan, all across the globe, and masked wrestlers. But the unmasking Rey Mysterio was just so stupid. And I love that. I can't believe Mysterio went with it. And I love that WWE just kind of acts like that never happened. And in these storylines that they're doing here, Gable was called out by the announcer, saying he was disrespecting Lucha Libre. And here, Dragon Lee ended up losing to Ethan Page. But I like that storyline-wise, they're calling these guys out for disrespecting Lucha Libre. And when the masking or unmasking has happened, they haven't shown anyone's face, just like when Jericho and Rey Mysterio did it around 2009 or 10. You never saw Ray's face again. So I think it's not culture vulturism, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like that, like I said, the AAA fans loved what Gable was doing. Obviously, we know there was another wrestler playing that part at a point in time, and it worked to a big program, and Gable is the one that lost the mask. And with what's going on here, like we said, Dragon Lee, Penta, Rey Mysterio, Ray Phoenix, some of the other great masked wrestlers right now. Obviously, not all of them are Mexican wrestlers, but I don't know. I just like that they're respecting the mask and the culture of lucha libre and all that, a big part of the storylines, and it's just over so much. So I'm just gonna go out there and say that this whole culture vulturism talk of lucha libre and WWE disrespecting Mexican wrestling, I'm gonna say that's not what's going on here, and it's a beautiful partnership that they currently have working together. So jump into the comments, let me know your thoughts about it all, as well as these matches, stables, storylines, everything we're talking about here. Again, just because we talk about something doesn't always mean that's how I feel about it. It means it's something I'm seeing people talk about, so I want to talk about it with y'all out there. Subscribe.